Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Segal, and I'm here to talk to you about the fundamental question of interviewing. Why should I hire you? I'm making these videos because my second edition of Master the Interview is coming out on April 10th. I'll put a link below when it's available. Why should I hire you? I call this sometimes the key question, the central question, the underlying question of every interview. It may or may not be asked directly. But every question that you are asked in an interview, in fact, every interaction that you have in an interview should be answering that question of why they should hire you. Why are you a fit for the job? What do you offer this employer? It feels a lot like selling yourself. And it is, but it doesn't mean it has to be inauthentic. It just means that what you are doing is you are thinking of the entire universe of ways that you could respond to a situation or a question. In another video, I talk about when you suffered a setback. Think about how you could frame your answers to be responsive to something related to the current role, the role that you're interviewing for. So, for example, if you're going for a product manager interview, you want to think about a setback in the context of project management and how you can show what you learned from a certain setback and show that you grew over your career. It's okay to have failed, but if you continue to make the same mistake over and over again, clearly that is something to avoid. And if you had a setback, if you had a failure, and you learn to grow from it, and you can bring that learning into this new organization, and it's highly applicable to this role, then that's a great way to show an answer to that question, why should I hire you? But every question is really, why should I hire you? Every interaction, as I said, is an opportunity for you to show a way that you can bring yourself closer to that organization, closer to that interviewer, instead of pushing them further and further away. How can you present, again, in an authentic way, something that really rings true for you, but how can you present yourself in a way that will make you, I want to say attractive, and I don't mean that kind of attractive, we're not talking about dating, but attractive to this target employer? What will make you show your leadership skills, show your subject matter expertise, show how you build teams, etc.? If you can bring every answer, and I know I say every, it's not that when you're in the interview, you've got this game in your head. Oh my God, now I'm 9 for 10 because that answer didn't match. That's not what I mean. When you're on for the interview day, you're just in the moment. But when you're thinking about your preparation beforehand, how can you match every answer to that fundamental question? Why should we hire you? Why should I hire you? And one last bit about the idea of preparation. Don't over rehearse your answers. You don't want to look or sound like you're reading off of a teleprompter in your brain. Oh, they asked this question. Bum, 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 bum. These are the answers that I rehearsed before the interview, and now I sound like a robot when I'm answering because I'm not excited. I'm not modulating my voice. I'm just answering the question as it's brought into the conversation, right? Because you somehow memorized it. And I'm overdoing it, but you will find that you sound rehearsed if you're trying to make sure that every single word will be right in the interview. Imagine you're going on stage, but okay, if that scares you, remember, you don't have to be going on stage for a large audience. We're talking an audience of one or maybe a small panel. But in the same way that you would do in theater, you practice all of your lines, and then you give them No, it's not exactly like theater because they're hoping you give the actual line that the author wrote, but you give them as if the scene is happening right in front of you. Take that little bit from theater. Think about a way that you can um, just, while you're being authentic, not disassociate from yourself or play another character that's not you, but really live and breathe your own truth, your own best self in the interview. Because if the question, that fundamental question, why should I hire you, yields a result that is not a match. In other words, if they ask you that question directly or indirectly, why should I hire you? And whatever you give back is not a match. Remember, that is not a failure on your part. Usually, and once in a while, we do get in our own way, but often this is really showing that there is not a match, that whatever they are offering for the job is not a match to who you are. So chalk it up to experience, move on to your next interview. Thanks.